What's up, guys? Jacob here, making another video. In this video, I'm going to go over the best things to have before you go for a run. Okay, a lot of people are kind of confused about what they should be intaking before they go for a run, and I'm going to talk about 3 different tools that I use to help improve my performance on my runs to keep me going for a long time. Whether it's a 3-mile run and I'm trying to run fast, or whether it's a 10-mile run and I'm trying to be sustained the whole time. Okay. So, going right into it, I want to start with a quote from this book, okay? And again, I'm going to be pulling from The World's Fittest Book. And this quote is from Christopher McDougall from the book Born to Run, okay? Born to Run was this book that kind of revolutionized the running community because it showed that maybe humans were actually built, in fact, to be runners. And that's something I believe. I believe we evolved in a way that we are very efficient runners, and you can see by our cooling system and our biomechanics and stuff like that that we were kind of born to run. Okay, but this quote goes as follows. It says, "Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and knows it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows it must run faster than the slowest gazelle or it will starve. It doesn't matter whether you're the lion or the gazelle, when the sun comes up, you better be running." Okay, and what this is, it's just a little bit of inspiration, to go out there and get it, to realize that, to attain fitness goals and stuff, like, yes, I put in like tips and tricks to lose fat or hacks to be able to do things more efficiently, but in order to really see results in anything in life, you have to go get it, right? Like, you have to chase down the slowest gazelle. You have to outrun the competition. You have to do these things, and usually it's a battle against you versus you, right? You have to chase down that weak part of you, and you have to outrun the weak part of you that's trying to get you to slow down, to stop. Or maybe you need to chase it down when it's like, hey, 1 mile is enough. We shouldn't do 2, and you just have to chase down 2 miles and show yourself, that you're the lion, that you're the king of the jungle, that you're in charge, right? And so that's just, that's a little motivation to get you fired up. But going into this, I'm going to talk about the 3 main tools that I use before I go running, okay? And the first thing is going to be hydration. Okay, the most important thing you should do before you go run is make sure you're hydrated. Okay, this ensures that your body has water flowing through it. It has electrolytes and it has sugar to where your body can, it can cool properly, and also it helps prevent cramps and stuff like that. Okay, so the best things to have liquid-wise before you go for a run are going to be juice or coconut water. Okay, and this, and this is aiming for anywhere from like a 3 to, let's say, 10-mile run. These are the best things to have before. Juice or coconut water, because it's going to provide your body with electrolytes, with sugar, and also the water, the hydration that comes with that. Okay, when I was running the 4x4 just now, the 48 miles in 2 days, I was drinking a ton of coconut water. I couldn't have as much juice because my body was rejecting anything that was acidic, but I was having a ton of coconut water. I probably had, half a gallon to a gallon of coconut water in that whole time, because I know my body needed to be hydrated, and I knew that was, that was priority number 1, was to stay hydrated, to give my body electrolytes, and to give it sugar, okay? And the second tip, and this is another thing for energy, is pure raw honey. Okay, this is something I got from Jesse Itzler. He did something called the calendar. I believe it's the calendar club. And what it was is you run a mile for every day of the month. So if it's, let's say, April 1st, on April 1st you run 1 mile. On April 5th you run 5 miles that day. On April 20th you run 20 miles that day, and on the 21st you run 21 miles the next day, and so forth, right? Like that's a beast of a challenge. The 4x4 is nothing compared to that. But he said the main thing that got him through these runs was this pure raw honey, because it has the pollen and the beeswax and the nectar and all of these different things in it. It's not heated. It's not just sugar. It has everything for you, and it keeps your brain running, and it supplies your body with the energy that you need. Okay, so the second tip is to get some honey, some pure raw honey. If you turn it upside down, it won't move at all. It's not transparent. When it's pure raw honey. If it's more expensive, and you can't see through it, okay? You want to eat it with the spoon. You want to have like a half or a quarter spoonful right before you go for a run, and that's going to make a big difference with your running, okay? You can also do the same thing for afterwards. If you have if you have some pure, raw, unheated, unfiltered honey after your run, it will also help give your body the sugar that it just burned, okay? And then finally, the last tip, this is kind of a hack for mental toughness while you're running, is caffeine, okay, and specifically coffee, right? And so essentially what coffee does is coffee is this stimulant that has your brain, that affects your brain in a way that it doesn't perceive fatigue at such an extreme level, right? So let me say that again. Essentially, when you take coffee, when you take caffeine in, why do you take it usually? It's because you're tired. Well, being tired is a form of fatigue on your brain. And so what it does is it closes or inhibits or numbs the fatigue receptors in your brain to where your brain's not as affected by fatigue. And this is something big for if you're running, let's say, 5 miles or more, is when you have coffee before your run, the fatigue that starts to settle in on your brain is a lot less than it normally would because your brain is kind of numbed with these fatigue receptors. So going on a longer endurance run, you can actually handle the run a lot more efficiently than you normally would be able to without the caffeine, unless you've kind of built up your mental to be able to do so, right? So if you are a coffee drinker or someone that takes in caffeine, I would take in caffeine before you go for a run because this will help your brain's ability and your mind's ability and just your mindset overall with being a little bit stronger while you go for these runs. Okay, when I was doing the 4x4, I didn't do it very much because I was only running 4 miles at a time. But when I ran the marathon, I made sure that I had about 120 milligrams of caffeine, which is about a cup of coffee, before my run, so that my brain could kind of handle the fatigue a little bit better than, let's say, it normally would by itself. Okay, so running back through those, just to go over a quick summary. The main thing that you want to have before is going to be juice and coconut water, okay? Those are going to be, they're going to give you sugar, electrolytes, and hydration for your body, okay? Another thing to have before is some of that pure raw honey, the unfiltered stuff that you can't see through. Just have a quarter teaspoon or a quarter of a spoon full, and you can also do that afterwards, right? And then, the main hack for mental fortitude while you're running is to have caffeine, because this will kind of make your mind feel bulletproof while you're out there on your run, okay? I know that was a lot of information. I know I'm talking super fast. Maybe you need to rewind it and put it on half speed or whatever. But I go a lot deeper into these topics in a article that I actually just put on my website. Okay? I'm finally putting my website up. I'm trying not to wait so long to do things anymore. I just want to be able to add value. So, if you go to the link below in the description, I have a article that's just on, the fuel for performance when running. It tells you what to have before, what to have during, and what to have after on certain runs. Okay, so if you want to go check that out, get some more info, if you want to print it off to follow it, there's also recipes in there. There's all kinds of good stuff. Okay, so check it out. Go to the website. It looks pretty dope, in my opinion. And then also join the running club. As always, CLLCTV on Strava. Okay, cool guys. Later.